Okay, we need to talk because the internet is currently fighting a civil war over the iPhone 18 Pro. And honestly, it is getting a little bit messy. Right now, if you go on Twitter or Reddit, you're going to see two completely different futures for the iPhone. And here is the scary part. Only one of them can actually exist. One leak says Apple is finally doing the impossible and giving us the dream phone we have wanted since the iPhone 10. The other leak says actually no, Apple is just going to do the same thing they always do, but slightly differently. So who is lying? Who is telling the truth? And why does a simple misunderstand inside a factory in China explain the whole thing? Grab a coffee, sit back, and let's figure this out because by the end of this video, you will know exactly what the iPhone 18 is going to look like. Let's start with the dream scenario, the one that went viral overnight. There's a clip floating around from TT Technology that shows an iPhone 18 Pro with a design that looks almost illegal. We're talking about a left-aligned punch-hole camera. No dynamic island, no pill-shaped cutout, no notch. Just a tiny little dot in the corner, looking like a dead pixel that got lost on its way to the center of the screen. It looks incredibly clean. Almost 98% of the front is just pure screen real estate. It feels modern, it feels like the future, and it suggests that Apple has finally cracked the code on under-display Face ID. That is the holy grail technology where the sensors live under the pixels, invisible to the naked eye, leaving only the selfie camera exposed. If you're a fan of that clean, Android-style aesthetic, this leak probably made your heart skip a beat. It looks like Apple finally gave up on the branding and just gave us the maximum amount of screen possible. But, and there's always a but with Apple rumors. Just as we were getting excited, the final boss of tech leaks entered the chat. Ice Universe. Now, if you don't know who Ice Universe is, this isn't just some random guy on a forum. When this source drops info, you listen. And they dropped a bombshell that completely destroys the punch-hole dream. According to their data, not only is the dynamic island staying, but it is also doubling down. Here is where it gets technical, so stay with me. The report says Apple is shrinking the dynamic island by roughly 35%. We're going from a cutout that is about 20 millimeters wide down to a sleek 13.49 millimeters. So we have a problem. We have two elite sources. One shows a camera in the corner, the other shows a smaller camera in the center. They can't both be right, unless something weird is happening behind the scenes. And this brings us to the glitch, the detail that 99% of people missed while they were arguing in the comment section. The confusion comes from the supply chain. You see, when information leaks from a factory, it usually comes in the form of boring schematic notes, not pretty pictures. The leak mentioned that the internal Face ID module is shifting left. Now, put yourself in the shoes of a 3D render artist for a second. You read shifting left, and you think, aha, the camera is moving to the corner. So you draw a punch-hole camera on the left side, and boom, the internet goes crazy. But if you're a hardware engineer, shifting left means something totally different. It doesn't mean the external hole is moving. It means the internal guts are being rearranged to pack them tighter. It's like playing Tetris inside the phone chassis. By shifting the components to the left internally, they free up space to make the center cutout smaller. Same data, two totally different conclusions. And honestly, this happens all the time in the tech world. It's like a game of telephone, but with billion-dollar blueprints. But let's be real for a second. Even without the schematics, the corner camera theory falls apart if you just think about Apple's personality. Apple is, frankly, obsessed with symmetry. Think about it. When you see a silhouette of a phone in a movie or an ad, how do you know it's an iPhone? It used to be the home button. Then it was the notch. Now it is the dynamic island. That black pill in the center isn't just a camera cutout. It is a brand logo. It tells everyone around you that you are holding an iPhone 15, 16, or 18. If Apple moves that hole to the corner, the iPhone loses its face. It starts looking like every other generic Android flagship on the market. And if there is one thing Apple hates more than side-loading apps, it's looking like everyone else. And then there's the software argument. This is the final nail in the coffin for the punch-hole leak. Think about how much money Apple spent building the interface around that island. Live activities, music controls, Uber arrival times, timers, navigation directions. The entire top of the iOS interface is designed to breathe out of the center. If they move the camera to the far left corner, what happens to all that software? Do your notifications just fly out of the left corner awkwardly? Does the whole UI become lopsided? It breaks years of software logic. Apple doesn't just abandon a major UI element overnight. They refine it, they polish it until it's perfect. So the corner hole, it looks cool in renders, but it feels wrong in practice. It's just not the Apple way. So here is the verdict. The reality of the iPhone 18 Pro Max. We are almost certainly looking at a centered, symmetrical dynamic island. But it is going to be the smallest, tightest cutout we have ever seen. It's a technical leap, not a design revolution. It's Apple saying, look, we made the technology better, but we kept the vibe the same. The phone itself is still going to be an absolute monster. We are hearing rumors of 2nm silicon, which is just bonkers for speed and battery life. We are hearing about next-generation thermal controls, so the phone doesn't cook your hand when you're gaming. And obviously, the cameras are getting upgrades that might actually matter this time. But the face of the phone, still centered, still symmetrical, still Apple. Now, I have to ask you because I am genuinely curious about where you stand on this. The tech enthusiast in me wants the all-screen experience. I want that 98% screen-to-body ratio. I want the futuristic punch hole. But the realist in me knows that the dynamic island is actually kind of useful now. So pick a side. Are you Team Center? Do you like the symmetry and the live activities? Or are you Team Corner? Would you kill the dynamic island today just to get a bit more screen space? I want you to drop a comment right now. Just type Team Center or Team Corner and tell me why. I read all the comments, and I really want to see who wins this debate. And hey, if you want to stay ahead of the curve and find out why Apple is secretly panicking about their folding phone project, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We are tracking every leak, every rumor, and every supply chain whisper, so you don't have to. Thanks for watching, thanks for geeking out with me, and I will catch you guys in the next one.